Hello, good afternoon, Wojak on Ethereum community. Today is November 20th, 2025. Seems like another down day for Wojak. Dropped to another 4 or 5%. I think some of the capital probably um, flew from the ETH Wojak to some of these knockoffs. And I think really, that's really the story for the past 2, 3 months. Why the meme Wojak is getting more popular on Twitter, yet the price of the Ethereum versions just keep going down. I think there are probably people within the ETH community, the ETH Wojak community, just losing faith and decide to sell their real Wojak to buy these knockoffs, hoping to make a quick flip. Um, and inevitably, these people would lose, because the people who create these knockoffs, like we said many times, their goal is not charity, it's not to make you rich, it's to make themselves rich. It's kind of like if you create a knockoff Rolex watch, you're not intending to add to the brand value of Rolex. Instead you're trying to steal from the brand value of the real Rolex. You operate in the shadows. You use manipulation, false advertising, really just trying to um, steal and cheat. And that's why the whole vamping token industry is built on lies and deceit and dishonesty, and that's why they never last. And whoever is foolish enough to buy into them, eventually they'll get fleeced. You might get lucky. You might stay alive temporarily, but eventually you're gonna lose all your capital if you invest in them, in those tokens. Personally, I don't mind. I don't mind the people who never really believe in the Wojak um, Ethereum token, for them to sell their bags, because that means I can buy it at a much cheaper price. I think my only regret is buying um, too early, I guess. When the price of the real Wojak token was at a much higher price. I wish I spent all my capital buying at this level, but again, you can never tell the future. I thought at 0.0003 was the lowest. Now we're less than half of that price. But I'm just trying to free up all the capital I can to buy at these low prices. It's, to me, it's free. When you spend $1, you can get 8,000 Wojak tokens, and I believe that eventually each token will worth $1. It's almost free here. So again, I think we, as Wojak ETH community, we can do a better job educating the wider crypto community about these vamp tokens. Um, you know, um, there were a couple people that used to be active in the um, Telegram chat channel, but they're no longer active. I wonder if some of them probably sold their real Wojak and bought into the knockoffs and probably lost their money and lost heart. Because these capital that used to be in the real Wojak community, once they get lost, they got scammed by the knockoffs, you know, you lose that capital forever. And that's why we see the capitalization of the ETH Wojak just going down and down and down. Now it's at $8 million. This is ridiculous, And a lot of it, I would not be surprised if I hear, it was because some of the OGs from ETH just lost their money in the Solana knockoffs. And that's why let's encourage one another and make noises, and just to reach out to one another, in social media, whether it's on X or Telegram. Let each other know that we are behind the ETH project. If you are quiet, human mind is very easy to make tricks. It's very easy for us to think, oh, maybe you don't really believe in the ETH project. You're probably just um, you know hanging around while in fact you're secretly invested in the Solana project. I know that it's not the case for most people, but if you don't speak up, if you don't show your vocal support for the ETH project, people, become suspicious. You tend to have these kind of thoughts um, in your mind, and that's why let's speak up. And whenever there's communication and transparency, it builds trust. Whenever there's a lack of transparency and communication, the trust is eroded. And for a project to be successful, you gotta be built on truth, on trust, on authenticity. So let's just be authentic with one another, be truthful, and just come out and start sharing your thoughts, your frustrations, even, especially when prices are down like today. So that's all I have for today. Take care of one another, and I'll see you in the chats.